A woman tied up with her own bra and shorts, slashed with a saw, beaten with a mop and a hammer, all because she wanted to meet her godfather. In one of the most shocking abuse cases seen in Singapore recently, a 30-year-old man has been sentenced to nearly 8 years in jail and 9 strokes of the cane for a series of cruel and violent attacks against his girlfriend. And the details are deeply disturbing. It all happened in January 2023 inside a Tampines flat where the couple lived together. When the woman told him she planned to meet her godfather, the man accused her of cheating. Fueled by jealousy, he dragged her by her collar into the bedroom, beat her until she collapsed, then forced her to strip naked. He tied her hands and legs using her own clothing, slashed her thigh with a 30-centimeter saw, and even filmed her lying naked on the bed. When her hands turned purple from the tight bindings, he removed them, but didn't stop. Instead, he picked up a hammer and hit her on the head and thighs. At one point, he even ordered her to beg for mercy. To escape, the woman had to use a pair of scissors that he threw at her to cut herself free. And shockingly, despite the trauma she went through, she later told him she forgave him. But this wasn't the first time she suffered at his hands. In another incident back in September 2022, the woman received a call from an unknown number. The man, suspecting it was from another guy, tied her to the bed with a cable tie, splashed gas lighter fluid on her chest, and held an open flame to her skin. She suffered burns, but he later applied cream and even cooked for her, as if trying to cover up the abuse with acts of kindness. And that's not all. In June 2022, while serving jail time for drug offenses, he assaulted a 62-year-old inmate who merely asked him for bread. He punched the elderly man, kneed him in the head, and kicked him until he collapsed unconscious. The inmate had to be revived at the hospital. When the case finally came to court, the judge handed down a sentence of 7 years, 11 months, and 191 days behind bars, along with 9 strokes of the cane. On top of that, he was given an extra 472 days for breaking a remission order. The prosecution called his actions egregious, extreme, and unacceptable, especially because the abuse took place in a domestic setting and caused serious physical and emotional pain. They also pointed out that just because the woman forgave him, it doesn't make what he did any less serious. In his defense, the man's lawyer said he had been diagnosed with major depressive disorder and was possessive, even a little jealous. The lawyer claimed the violence wasn't planned and that the man regretted what he did. But this raises deeper questions for all of us. Can mental illness fully explain such violence? Or are there lines that simply should never be crossed, no matter what someone is going through? And why do victims sometimes forgive their abusers, even when the harm is so extreme? Cases like this show how dangerous jealousy and control can become when left unchecked. If you or someone you know is in a toxic or violent relationship, please don't keep quiet. Help is available. If you find this interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, 2230.